Rami Avidan, the keynote speaker from Tele2, fearless leader of the army of Tele2 guys around Europe at least. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. My God. This event has grown. Fantastic. So, are you all excited? I am too. So before I start, first of all, thank you for that amazing introduction. I thought we would watch a movie as a starter.
For a decade and a half now, we've been living in a world that's increasingly supported by IoT, but still, many of us are completely unaware of it. So to give you an idea of how useful this technology is, we want to show you a world without it, without the Internet of Things.
Northern Sweden, kind of windy, an estimated 3 to 5 meters per second, coming in from the northeast. And here comes the snow.
Because without IoT, some people would have to suffer to give us what we take for granted. And then, there are all the little comforts of modern life we've got used to.
On the cab heater. I have to leave for work in half an hour. Over.
Okay, got it.
One of the main advantages with IoT can be found in automation. Just imagine trying to manage a server hall without it.
A bit too hot maybe, but I'm not sure.
Okay, you better check these well fast.
Ja, då. Ska vi gå? Det är helt nödstryk. Ska vi gå?
Stop! Everybody stand by. Possible cardiac arrest. No worries. Just on a false alarm.
And there. Now you've witnessed an elderly care alarm system without IoT. Of course, in reality, the world we live in is smarter than this. And whether you notice it or not, IoT will carry on making it smarter. So now you know, a world without IoT is idiotic. But don't be an idiot. Join Tele2 to make the world a smarter place.
Yeah! You know, we like to do things with a sparkle in the eye, and this is a stab of trying to say that this is already happening. Most of us don't think about that, but it is already happening. So, next slide. Computer people. Next slide. There we go. Okay, should I go back one, please? Thank you. So, as you heard from Anders, we at Tele2 started around 3 years ago. And we were, yes, 3 people then. Today, as Magnus said, we're an army of close to 100 people. You know, so we've grown dramatically over the last 3 years. Not only do we have a very strong foundation of people, the best of the best, believe you me, and some of them are here today. We're exhibiting, obviously, so please go and speak to them. We have also started putting people outside of the Nordics. So very important to understand, we are not purely a Nordic or European player. We have customers using our solutions around the world in more than 150 countries. I said again, 150 countries. It's pretty fucking cool. You know? And this goes across the board for IoT, which means that IoT is not a local play. a small startup in any given market now has the whole world as their marketplace. And I think that's one of the beauties with IoT. And of course, it says passionate. And you can all sense that we are truly very passionate about IoT. So, just quickly, so Stina, who's one of the organizers of the event, said, look, Rami, we've all heard you talk about the strategy and that it's not a technology question. I'm not going to dwell on that today. I am going to talk about use cases, but first, let me just set the IoT scene, the way that we see it. You know, if you're a customer or if you're a partner looking at entering into IoT or implementing IoT, of course you are confronted with every single player under the sun. The Tele2s and the IBM, and I know Telefonica is here today as well. Welcome here to Sweden. Don't come back, please. You know, and you also have, I'm only joking. And you also have all the small startups doing really, really cool things. So where do I start? It is truly very, very complex. And so I'll come back to it a little bit later on how you tackle that as a foundation. And you will also be confronted with the fact that on the face of it, it truly looks pretty damn difficult and complex from a technical perspective. You know, you need hardware that works with various types of connectivity, and then you need some sort of application, and you need to analyze it, and you need to, you know, it does sound pretty daunting. But here and behold, it's no longer daunting. You know, the technology is not going to be the problem. Everything that you want to do, technology will solve for you today. I'll come and touch upon that a little bit later. Now, the real value of IoT is what we can do with the information that we create using the IoT solutions. That's the real value. Now, the only problem with that today, we are using less than 0.5% of all the data that we generate today. So it's not potentially only about connecting up lots of new things today, although of course I want you to. But it is also about understanding what kind of data do I already have today that I'm actually not cultivating and utilizing, right? And so this is one of the biggest things that I would like you to take with you from this session today. Look, you already have lots of data. Start using that data. And that will give you a better insight into what other types of data that you might require to become more intelligent about your business or whatever it is that you're trying to become smarter about. Does that make sense? Yes. Very quiet. Are you all in awe? You're very quiet. Okay. So, Stina, I'm not going to dwell on this. 10 seconds. If you are thinking that IoT is about technology, you're absolutely fundamentally wrong. IoT is about surviving. IoT is about going in to the next era of things, making sure that my business or my city is sustainable into the future. So it's a strategic decision. You need to define what it is that you are going to do with your business or your organization. So, some quick IoT insights here then. 3 tips. Take them with you. When you go on the IoT journey, don't select vendors. Select partners. Truly very important. Partners that are reducing the technological barriers for you to get started, and partners that are reducing the commercial barriers, that implement win-win commercial packagings. Meaning that when you are successful in your business and you are generating lots and lots of data that you analyze and understand so that you can become smarter to create value in your business, that's when your partners should start to make a lot of money. Because then they've contributed to the value creation in your business. Now, of course, we shouldn't neglect technology. And so, when you choose your infrastructure, ensure that the infrastructure is flexible, that you can move. Because whatever it is that you are going to want to do today, you are going to want to change it into the future. So ensure that it's open. Ensure that the partners that you have selected in your quest are allowing you to stay open. Don't lock yourself in. And of course, last but not least, monetize your data. Because at the end of the day, I can sell as many SIM cards and connectivity solutions as I want. But at the end of the day, the real value is in what you do with the data that you generate. That's the real value. So focus in on that. What can I do with my data? So, if there is one message that you should take with you, it is partnerships. Whether or not you're a customer that are going to utilize these in your core business, whether or not you're a partner wanting to get into the space of IoT, think around partnerships. Partnerships, 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 partnerships. And I think, Magnus, you've heard me many times before. I don't think that you can say it enough times, because this truly is about partnerships. So, finally then, let's get into some examples. So, today, I'm going to talk about 3 types of customers and talk about 3 use cases. The first is behavioral change. Because the beauty with IoT is that you can change behavior. And I'll come and touch upon that. Then, of course, we spoke about all the data that you already have today in your systems. Of course, most of that data is generated through analog systems. Now, of course, there is a whole host of solutions out there that needs to move from analog to digital, because you're not going to throw out every single old system. So we see a lot of business happening in the analog to digital. And then, of course, the last one, the Industrial Revolution. So let's start. And you heard about Happy before. So the first one is Happy or Not. How many of you have seen Happy or Not solutions out somewhere? Few hands. Well, look at that. Happy or Not work. My God. They did a good job. So the beauty with Happy or Not, you know what that is? Is that it's so simple. They have 2 solutions. They have one solution that needs nothing. You can take it and put it on the ground, and people can come and put a red face or a green face. Battery built in, SIM card built in. Or you can actually implement it on a wall, plug it in with electricity, and with a fixed line. That's the simplicity of the solution. Now, the real value of the solution is in the back end. So what do they do? So Happy or Not, and if you go to, for example, Arlanda or Landvetter Airport here in Sweden, you can see that they are positioned there. Is there anyone in the audience that actually knows why they're there? It is to change a behavior. And what is the behavior that they want to change? They want to change the behavior of the security people working as you go through the security control. So what did they do? They convinced Luftfartsverket to put these solutions in place, and then on the basis of how many green faces and red faces per day that they get, they give the security people a bonus. So the more green faces, the higher the bonus. This is called behavioral change. Because now, when you go through the security checkpoint, you will see a lot of smiles. Everyone is helping you. Welcome to Sweden. When are you coming back? It is a truly different experience. And so, in this very simple scenario, IoT has changed a behavior. It's very simple. Did you like that one? Yes. Is it too early in the morning? Okay, the second one, which I think is important, is a company called CSL. How many of you have heard about CSL before? Do we have any CSL people in there? Yeah, of course, Tele2, we know them. No CSL people. Okay, so CSL does a lot of cool stuff. Among other things, one of the areas that they focus on is moving the old analog connected businesses, making them digital. So this is the conversion from analog to digital. Now you think about the number of connected devices out in the marketplace today. You know, the new digitally connected solutions are dwarfed by the number of machines that we have out in the marketplace that are analog. So you can imagine the magnitude of these types of solutions when you're looking at segmentation of the market and the potential in the marketplace. So anyone that is a startup out here and you haven't really defined what focus I should have within the space of IoT, if I were you, my bet would be on analog to digital. And I was told not to use too much time today, so I thought we would end up with yet another movie, because I think every one of you have heard me telling you the story about ESAB, the world's second largest welding manufacturer. So instead of hearing me telling you that story, we'll hear ESAB telling you that story.
When we say IoT, what do you see in your mind? Smart cities? Talking home appliances? Self-driving cars? Well, to be honest, so do we. But then we met these guys who were busy joining metal to metal and wanted to put it in the cloud. And, like most good stories, it all began with
It started with a speech made by our chairman of the board, Mitrails, in 2014, where he said that I'm seeing this technology, I'm seeing IoT, I'm seeing big data, fast data, and that will become disruptive to our industry. So we need to take the lead or risk to become irrelevant. So he said, let's create a data-driven advantage at ESAB. That's what's really the starting point of our journey.
We normally use the concept, think big, start small, scale fast, which means set your vision, execute where you stand, and then scale fast. There are two specific success factors in this specific case. The first one is you have to have a client that is very willing to change their way of working. And we as a partner and a vendor have to be very flexible in the way that we approach them. You need to have a clear strategy to be able to achieve your targets. The sooner you have your strategy, the sooner you will draw the benefits from implementing IoT.
Oh, I would say that WellCloud is really the proof of concept of our digital strategy. We have demonstrated how we can leverage data in IoT and analytics to create significant value for our customers. This is only the beginning.
The moral of the story is that by selling this new digital product to its customers, ESAB has become the welding market leader with smart online products. Which all goes to show that Tele2's cloud is so powerful it can even lift heavy industrial services to new heights. Thanks for watching.
Boom. I think that's an applaud, don't you? Yeah. Tired in the morning. So, I'm going to leave in 10 seconds. I just want to say the moral of this story is twofold. The success of ESAB can be contributed to two things. Number one, top management alignment that we need to change. And number two, a hero, an internal hero, Anders Lind. Someone who takes on the responsibility with passion to change ESAB and to implement IoT, making them digital, taking them into the future. So top management alignment and heroes. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you all later.
Thank you so much. Talking about heroes, you know, it's become really hot to be a speaker on those events because Sweden is so full of great people. So this year we've actually developed a small product that will make you stand out as a hero.
All right.
It says that I'm a proud speaker, I'm doing M2M IoT for real, and I'm a proud speaker at this event. And I think you're the first one to carry that on.
Thank you.
A lot, Rami.
Thank you.